The Hessians and the British were to a surprising victory. They managed to get 2,400 men and 18 cannons across the Delaware River. A thick and unexpected fog hid them from view.
A hard, howling, tossing water scene. Strong tide is washing here clean. How cold, weather stings us in anger. O silent night shows glorious danger. The cold water swashing on in rage. Redcoats warring, slow as scent engaged. When Star General's action wished go, he saw his ragged continental grow. Ah, he stands, sailor crew ain't going, and so this general watches rowing. He hastens. Winter again grows cold. A wet crew gain Hessian stronghold. George can't lose war with hands in. He's astern, signal light, crew and wind.
No one knows for sure who designed the American flag. A most popular legend is about a seamstress named Betsy Ross. According to the story, Betsy Ross and George Washington and 2 other men entered Betsy Ross's Philadelphia shop in June 1776. They hired her to sew a flag on the new nation based on their design. There is no proof this ever happened, but the story captures a good imagination in generations that people have become to believe it's true.
George Washington's army had many hard times. One of the most difficult was the winter of 1777 through 1778. They were spending the winter in Valley Forge and they had just barely survived. By the end of the winter, about 2,500 of his men had died of exposure, malnutrition, diseases. Retired age were framed in the form of a young general named Lafayette and a young Prussian officer, Baron von Steuben. As allies of freedom, these men proved to be great help during this fight for independence. Although they are often unmentioned, the women played an important role in the battle for independence.
got up, filled their pitchers with water, and went out to the battlefield to give the thirsty soldiers a drink of water. Molly Pitcher was one of the best girls who carried water. Her husband's name was William, and she wanted to make sure he had enough water during the battle. When Molly Pitcher saw that her husband became ill, she went over there and fired a cannon in her husband's place.
On September 28, 1781, a battle decided the outcome of the American Revolution. The siege of Yorktown, Virginia began. Cornwallis retreated to this port city, built fortifications for its defense, and waited for reinforcements.
But General George Washington was confident of a continental victory. Recently, a French fleet under the command of Comte de Grasse had arrived with supplies, weapons, and troops. This allied force harried Cornwallis' army as it moved toward Yorktown. Now it was time for the decisive battle to begin.
Baron von Steuben observed in a letter to General Greene, Cornwallis is fortifying himself as a brave general who must fall. The combined American and French forces numbered 16,000 men. The British defenders were approximately 7,500. The British entrenchment was strong enough to withstand an attack, but they could not weather a lengthy siege.
While the American and French troops closed in by land, Comte de Grasse fleets sailed off Yorktown Harbor to prevent any British reinforcements by sea.
Washington's men advanced to the outer ring of defense works, which the British hastily and unnecessarily abandoned.
On the night of October 16, Cornwallis attempted to escape across the York River, but a storm arose forcing him back. After a siege of 13 days, on October 17, the anniversary of Bergen's capitulation of Saratoga, Cornwallis decided to surrender, and on October 19th, his troops became American prisoners of war.
Cornwallis was so embarrassed about his defeat, he refused to take part in the ceremony himself. In fact, he had his aide, Bradler General Charles O'Hara, officially surrender for him. O'Hara, in fact, tried to surrender to Comte de Rochambeau, a French general who politely pointed to Washington. Washington had his own subordinate, General Benjamin Lincoln, officially surrender on his behalf.